I downloaded the app called Moneywell where you can earn by playing games, and within just 5 minutes I had already hit the payout threshold and could request my first payout. So yes, you can earn, but before you rush off to download it, there are some very important things you need to know about how the payout process actually works, because it is not as straightforward as it might seem. So stick around, because this is one of those details that most review completely skip over, and I will go over exactly how it all works in this video so you can find out if this is the right opportunity for you or not. In case you don't know, my name is Mikael, and on this channel I test apps and websites that claim you can earn money online, so you don't waste your time on the wrong ones. I'll walk you through how the earning system really works, how much you can realistically expect to earn, the payout options and requirements, and a few details that could completely change whether this app is worth it for you or not. So let's get into it. So let's start by going over who can join, and Moneywell is an app for Android devices, so you can only use it on Android devices, but from what I've been able to find out, it should be available in basically all countries. So let me now log in, and then we'll take a closer look at what it offers. So I am now logged into the Moneywell app, and let me just start by saying that you will get a joining bonus when you sign up. How high that joining bonus is, I cannot say for sure. I know for me it was 2,199 points, but this might vary depending on where you live. If you decide to use it, or if you already have, please share below which country are you from and what was the bonus when you joined. Anyways, back to how you can then earn. First of all, I want to say when you first join, it looks a little bit different than it does now, because this whole row down here, that was not available when I first joined, and I didn't actually have to create an account or log in or anything like that. So that also means that if I accidentally deleted or something like that, I couldn't log in on another phone. So that's just something to be aware of. And it looked very strange at first. There was not all these options, so I couldn't see anything about how to get paid or anything like that until I had actually earned a little bit and started using it. So that's a little bit unusual, a little bit confusing, something I don't like, because I think everything should be possible to see at least when you first join any earning platform. But now you can get a chance to see how it will actually look after you played it some time or used it some time. And the way to play it is that you just scroll through, find a game that you would like to play. You can read all the details. When I first joined, there was only 1 or 2 or so. Sometimes there will be more added, or usually more will be added when you start playing some games. And you can also scroll down and you can see there are also some surveys. Here, for some reason, they allow you to take max 8 surveys per day. Honestly, that's a little bit weird. I've tested hundreds of survey websites and apps, and it's a weird they have a limit like that, so I can't say why, but not a place I would actually do paid surveys. So if you're interested in apps that are specialized in paid surveys, I would use specific survey apps. I do have a video on my channel here. Also, I'll leave a link with my top recommended survey apps, so you can check that out instead. But anyways, you would just click here. You can see the details. You can see when would you get the different rewards, how many points, what levels would you do, and then you would need to click to start playing. It would take to Google Play Store. It would download it, and then when you play it, it tracks how you need to allow the tracking, and then it will track what levels you have reached, and then you will get the rewards when you reach it. Some of the games also sometimes are per minute, so then you get paid depending on the time. Others are per task. Mainly I've seen some that are per task. I have one now here in the My Game section. This is one I played here. This, as you can see here, is actually per minute. So in general, fewer and fewer of these games are available in play to earn apps where you get paid per minute. I think it's because people found out that there's a way to kind of game the system there where you don't actually have to play, that they now go mainly to these where you have to then complete certain tasks. But anyways, that's basically how you can earn here. There are some different, as you can see here at the top, sometimes where you can activate it, so you get, in this case here, 3 times the tickets for the next hour, or some extra earnings there, so you can use those once in a while. That can definitely boost your earnings, and I would recommend that you keep an eye on that, because the earnings are not very high if you don't use this, so this can at least give you more value for your time. But let's now talk about when you can get paid and how you can get paid, because as I mentioned at the start of this video, I actually managed to hit the payout threshold within just a few minutes. But something a little bit unusual happened then, and unexpected, so we need to talk about all this before you decide whether this is for you or not. So I have now jumped to this reward section, and the first thing is that then they have special offers. Sometimes they then have offers and they make it look like you can get great deals, and basically they're just getting you to use your points on paid offers where they get paid for it, and you can find them where you get paid on many other get paid sites. I don't like that, and that they hide it, because there's actually something here where you need to click more payouts, and then you can see where you can actually get paid with real rewards. So I really dislike when apps use this trick, but there are unfortunately some apps that do. But anyways, then you can choose gift cards. That depends on your country which gift cards are available, and then PayPal also in some countries. And you can see the payout threshold is only 3,000 points, and that is equivalent of 0.3 euros. At least that's where I live. The payout threshold, the currency and all that will very likely depending on the country you live in. But as mentioned, I got a joining bonus of almost 2,200, and then I basically just played for a few minutes and I had enough to get paid. So the first time you need to reach the payout threshold, definitely it doesn't take long. So I thought like, okay, I will just try to cash out, and then I will show the payment proof and all that. So I went through the payout process, and this is when something quite unexpected happened, because as mentioned, I've tested hundreds of free online earning platforms, both apps and websites, all kinds of ways to earn, and I've seen this before where you then click here to pay out or cash out, and then you need to connect your PayPal. So I needed to log into my PayPal. I in general don't like when they ask you to do that, because it should be enough to just give your email address that you've connected to your PayPal, and then you can get paid that way. That's what most get paid to sites and apps do, but I have tried it before where you can connect it. So no, you can do that, and I then did it. But not only that, when you did that, they also said that when you connect your PayPal, they will get access to your full address. I don't see what they need that for. I don't feel comfortable about that. But not only that, then after I actually did that, because I said, okay, I'll try that because I really want to, get that money paid out for this video here. But then they actually asked me inside the app to also there write my full name and my full home address inside the app to be able to cash out. And I do understand why in general most get paid to sites and apps. They do ask for some kind of verification, because they need to make sure that people don't cheat, because there is a lot of fraud on apps and websites like this. But giving your actually home address, it doesn't even prove anything. I'm not even saying they're doing anything with it or that they're selling it or anything like that. I'm not saying that. I don't know. But what I can say is that when you give your full home address to an app like this, you don't know what if something happens, what will the staff do there, where will this data end. You can probably really find that if you really go through the terms, but I just don't see the need to ask for this kind of private information inside an app like this, and something I haven't really experienced on many other apps and websites. And I know there are many where I can get paid without giving my full address, and there are other ways of verifying with a phone number or verified PayPal, something like that. And that's what I prefer, especially when it's an app where I'm a little bit like there's some things that I don't really like about it. So that's why I decided to I'm not going to share that information. I don't care about that. I just wanted to test it. How quickly could I get there? I'm not going to get paid if it means that I have to give inside this particular app my full home address. So you can get paid, but it requires you to be willing to share your home address. And I know a lot of you, because you always ask me about this, and I know a lot of you don't feel comfortable about this, but now you know what to expect. And a lot of these things are not visible until you actually reach the payout threshold. That's another thing I really don't like, and then you can end up wasting time. But now at least you know, and then you can decide before you start investing time whether it's something you can agree to or not. So to sum it all up, money well can be a way to earn by playing, but it's not a very effective way. And there are some things, as you can hear, I really don't like. So that's why I also just gave up on the earnings that I could actually cash out here. I don't like that there's some information you can't see until you've actually reached the payout threshold. I don't like that they ask for your full address and to connect your PayPal the way they ask about it. It is quite unusual based on all my tests of hundreds of different free online earning platforms. I'm not saying that they're doing anything suspicious or that you won't get paid. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying my personal opinion about what I feel comfortable about and what I look for when I choose online earning platforms, because there are so many different free ways and also free ways to earn by playing games. So I just am very picky with the platforms I use. So I personally just think there are other apps that I prefer using instead. Again, if you have a different opinion, if you have different experiences, questions, anything, just share in the comments below. I love to hear your opinion and experiences also. This is just my opinion based on my years of testing ways to make money online. But I do have a list on my website of my top recommended ways to earn by playing games that I prefer. So I will leave a link to that below so you can go and check that out. And if you prefer just reading instead of just listening to me here, I also do have a written Money Well review on my website. I'll leave a link to that below. And then also here on the screen next to me, you can find a video about my top recommended ways to earn by playing. If you don't want to go to my website but want to check a video about this instead, then you can just click the video that's on the screen now. And finally, if this video helped you, please make sure to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out next time I release a video with tips and tricks about different ways to make money online.